Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump is turning his sights on a new target this morning. Bill Clinton, the GOP frontrunner, took to Twitter after Hillary Clinton accused him of having, quote, a penchant for sexism. An Eastern New York man faces identity theft charges for allegedly stealing more than $30,000 from his own brother. Police say the 35-year-old from the Albany area helped himself to thousands from his brother's bank account, then used his identity to open another credit card account. The Buffalo Bills bounced back in a big way yesterday in Miami. The Bills blew out the Dolphins 41-14, improving 2-1 this season. Tyrod Taylor was nearly perfect, throwing for 3 touchdowns without an interception. The Bills' defense was dominant as well, recording 2 sacks, 3 interceptions. The win was much needed after last week's embarrassing loss against the Patriots. Many of you sent us some of your photos as the storm passed through your area. Gina sent us this. Check out this lightning illuminating the sky over Palmyra. One person is dead after an officer-involved shooting at a North Carolina shopping mall. Police say this started yesterday afternoon following a dispute between 2 groups. They said an off-duty officer responded to the scene after hearing shots and fired his weapon after the suspect pointed a gun at him. The project could be a boom for Rochester's economy. Jim Madelinsky is live in Greece to explain how. Jim? You do a lot of yard work, too. You always talk about how you're, like, mowing a ton of grass. So this will help you out, Marty.
I'm going to have to do some more. Keeps growing.
Keep working.
Never stops.
Because that grass will keep on growing.
That's right. Every 5 days.
Give it a little rain, a little sunshine, boom.
Oh, yeah.
It's your fault.
You're watching 13 Wham ABC. And this is 13 Wham News Midday.
New this midday, 2 men charged in connection with the mass shooting outside the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester enter pleas of not guilty in court. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hannah Welker in for Norma Holland today. Johnny Blackshell Jr. and Jalen Everett both pleaded not guilty to all charges, including 3 first-degree murder charges in relation to that shooting outside the club on Genesee Street in August. 13 Wham's Kelsey Smith was in the courtroom this morning and joins us live from the Hall of Justice with more. Kelsey? Thanks so much, Kelsey. Some strong storms moved through our area, but hard to complain after seeing what they're dealing with in California. A live look now from our HD Wham Cam. 50-degree temps today so far, but there's going to be some changes. Specifically, some of this stuff. Snow, what? This is video from April 24th. Yeah, the last time our weather department recorded a snowfall in Rochester, and conditions that day could be similar to what we may experience this weekend. More on that later, but first, Kaylee Went tells us what's on tap as we wrap up the work week.
I'll show you what your town will be expecting and how much snow you could see this weekend. Coming up, all in my full forecast.
Snow already, thanks, Kaylee. Police in California say they expect a mud-covered interstate to reopen to traffic this afternoon. Flash flood debris blocked part of Interstate 5 north of Los Angeles, stranding hundreds of vehicles and forcing some drivers to take refuge on top of their cars. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has more this midday. New this midday, a new study suggests binge drinking is having a staggering effect on the U.S. economy. The CDC says binge drinking cost the economy $249 billion. Here's how they broke it down. Hangovers in the workplace cost $77 billion. Treating people for drinking-related health problems costs about $29 billion. Everything from vehicles destroyed in accidents to alcohol-related deaths were also factored in. The latest results are from 2010, with the cost rising 11% since 2006. Police have arrested a Rochester teen after they say he stole from several homes in Wayne County. Deputies say 16-year-old Brian DeLoke swiped items from his home and vehicles in the area of Berg Road in Ontario. Deputies say he was arrested after crashing a stolen car into a parked vehicle in a driveway on County Line Road. Still ahead this midday, race for the White House. Clues on whether Joe Biden may enter the race and proof that Donald Trump knows how to bend a TV network to his will. Plus,
grab her. I got her.
I got her.
Oh, Chloe. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
A cat rescued after getting stuck, underneath the pool. How the pet's owner knew she was there and how the cat got stuck in the first place. And later, meteorologist Kaylee Went will be back with a look at our Weather Authority forecast.
Good evening, I'm Jim Madelinsky.
And I'm Hannah Welker. Doug and Ginny are off today. 23-year-old Sheldon Lipford was shot in the driveway of a home on Pearl Street in Rochester. He drove away but crashed into several cars and was pronounced dead at the hospital. That was in October. Today, police announced 27-year-old Tomias Shaw is facing murder charges. 23-year-old Rochelle Cram is arrested for criminal possession of a weapon and a controlled substance.
And new information tonight on a shooting that took place near a mini-mart this week. Police now say 19-year-old Keith Brown died from his injuries. Brown was a city resident. He was shot around 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon near the corner of Norton Street and St. Paul. No arrests have been made.
And this video just back into our newsroom. A 27-year-old sent to the hospital after being stabbed allegedly during a carjacking. This unfolded on Conkey Avenue within the last couple of hours. He's expected to be okay. Police say the victim may have known the suspect. We'll update this story with the latest developments on 13wham.com. Now switching gears, millions of Americans looking forward to a three-day weekend in celebration of our country's independence. From booming fireworks sales to fireworks shows to an area home covered in American flags. We've got you covered.
That home is awesome. But the big question everyone seems to have on their minds, will the weather hold up for July 4th festivities? For that, we turn to 13 WHAM meteorologist Kaylee Went for the answer. Kaylee.
No pressure or anything there. We're starting out today with some pretty nice weather, a dry start to the holiday weekend. If you take a look at the Ultimate Doppler HD, we're seeing clear skies and lots of sunshine. Temperatures currently at 72 degrees and will continue to fall through the evening. Again, clean sweeps on the radar. We're not seeing any precip just yet. And as we head through the evening, temperatures falling back into the lower 60s. So a pretty nice night ahead, but the weekend highlights, unfortunately, tomorrow we do have some rain and even the possibility for some thunder showers in the forecast. Sunday, a hot and humid day with temperatures near 80. But for tomorrow, I know that's the big question. When will the rain start? I'll time all of that out for you in my full forecast.
All righty, thank you, Kaylee. This holiday weekend, New Yorkers can legally have their own private fireworks show, but on a miniature scale.
That's because sparklers are legal to sell in a number of counties. 13 WHAM's Jennifer Lee stopped by her fireworks stand and tells us what you need to know before lighting one.
One of the big events tonight, the Ring of Fire, the annual July 4th weekend celebration at Canisius Lake, is once again expecting quite the light show. 100,000 people are expected to be there. 3 Marine patrol boats will monitor the water, and more than a dozen deputies will direct traffic and enforce public safety on the ground. Heavier traffic is expected after the fireworks show.
Irondequoit's festivities began today. The annual parade and fireworks aren't until tomorrow, but the arts and crafts show kicked off this morning. Street dance, always a town favorite, gets underway tonight at 7.
One of the other areas to blast off fireworks tonight, the village of Brockport. The Sweden and Clarkson Recreation Department say they'll begin at dusk, and the city of Rochester will be holding their fireworks show tomorrow night. Those start at 10 p.m. There's also a concert featuring the RPO at the Main Street Bridge. For a full list of area activities, head on over to 13wham.com.
A 4-year-old boy from Perry is in critical condition after being pulled from a pond. Wyoming County Sheriff's deputies say the boy was riding an ATV when he went out of sight of his grandparents. His grandmother later found him in the pond unresponsive. Family members pulled him out and began CPR. The boy was rushed to a hospital in Buffalo. 3 people were sent to the hospital after a 3-car crash involving a Rochester police cruiser. It happened around 1 a.m. on Hudson Avenue near Harold Street. Witnesses say the police cruiser was chasing a car when another car T-boned the cruiser. An officer and 2 people in the other cars were hospitalized. They are expected to recover. No word yet on any arrests in this case.
A new initiative where RG&E will actually pay you to reduce your electricity usage. Customers who choose to participate would volunteer to allow their air conditioners to be turned down by remote control during times of peak demand. RG&E says it could save you roughly $100 a year. The program is limited to some customers in Ontario County, but could be extended everywhere next year. We'll post more info on 13wham.com. A reasonably decent monthly jobs report today despite stagnant wages. The Labor Department says U.S. employers added 223,000 jobs in June. The report also shows the unemployment rate fell to 5.3%, which is a 7-year low. Law enforcement officials are on high alert across the nation this holiday weekend due to concerns about possible terror threats.
As ABC's Karen Travers explains, there is no specific credible threat, but authorities want Americans to stay vigilant.
I mean, you know that it happened because somebody said that it happened, and we got his ID and we got his keys and his chain, but it doesn't feel quite real.
17-year-old Genesis Pereira's family says he was always riding his bike. Friday afternoon was no different, but on his way home from his job at Ponderosa, the driver of a tractor-trailer didn't see him on his bike on Route 5 and 20. He was hit and killed.
If anything comes out of this, really, is for just everybody to just be more aware, because there are bicyclists out there, you know, and this wasn't a little bitty guy, you know. Pay attention.
His family spent the afternoon together at their home today, remembering Genesis and what made him so special. His love for music, his cousins, and his dreams of becoming a rapper.
He's young. He's only 17. He was going on his senior year. He liked music. He was a hard worker. He worked, and he just did everything he can. He was a good boy.
His old classmate says news of the accident was a shock. All of his classmates at Marcus Whitman were a tight-knit group.
A lot of my friends are like shaken up a little bit because it's our classmate, and we were all really close because we're a tiny school, so we were all pretty good friends.
Friends have started a GoFundMe page to support costs for his funeral arrangements. They're also selling T-shirts with his picture on it to raise money as well. A vigil is planned for tomorrow at the site of the crash.
Genesis planned to transfer to Geneva High School this year. The superintendent released a statement today saying, quote, "I had the opportunity to meet Genesis this summer. I was immediately struck by how kind and polite he was. Our prayers are with Genesis' family and friends."
Hello?
Elizabeth Lyons knows glass.
Glass has this magical quality. You know, it captures light and it changes with light, and it's beautiful and transparent and luminescent. So it has the ability to do a lot of things. It's really versatile.
She's been blowing it into unique shapes and products since her college days at Alfred State, a fascination that stems from her early sculpting classes. Now she's a brand of her own. Her chandeliers have shined on the cover of Architectural Digest and other magazines and department store shelves. Barney's New York is one of her consistent clients. Success around the globe. Her product made right here in Rochester.
This is an easy community to create in. There's a ton of creative people here, and we have RIT and Alfred and Corning close by, so there's a lot of camaraderie.
It all happens here at Moorfire Glass, tucked away in a bundle of warehouses and other art studios where creativity is on fire. Literally, this oven-like hole is filled with liquid glass, helping to blow this.
So what I've just done is I've just started the bubble
into this, one of her signature teardrop bottle pieces. The process is like a choreographed ballet. Lyons and her fellow artist Jennifer Shinzing have it down, working together to make a product they're proud to sell.
We're not really interested in anything that's not perfect in our mind. I mean, perfect is relative when you're talking about something handmade, but certainly we have an expectation of what things are supposed to look like.